It's a good time to be a fan of superheroes, you guys. There's cartoons, comics, movies, and of course, plenty of video games.
Yes, and now some of Marvel's best superheroes have teamed up for the Avengers Battle for Earth.
Oh! In Avengers Battle for Earth, the Skrull, an evil alien race, are searching for a new home after losing their own.
The Skrulls, a shape-shifting warlike race. They have come to your world, taking the identities of your greatest heroes.
They're doing this by taking the form of humans and heroes alike. And this explains why you'll be going up against such iconic characters as Thor.
Thor is here!
Captain America.
Surrender now, son.
The Hulk. And Iron Man.
Make your move!
The story is based on the Secret Invasion series written by Brian Michael Bendis, one of the biggest names in comic books.
It's a great story, Darren, but it's not told very well here.
Reed Richards discovers that Skrulls walk among us, but
A series of very static comic book pages and narration by Watcher Uatu doesn't really go far enough to make you feel like the planet is actually in peril.
the plan, open a portal that will draw their headquarters into the negative zone, disposing of them in one fell swoop.
Well, it doesn't, but really it's just there to give you a bit of background as to why you're doing all of this fighting. Lots and lots of fighting.
There are 9 playable characters to begin with a further 11 to be unlocked. They take their visual and fighting styles more from the comics than from the Avengers movie.
There are some famous Marvel locations that you fight in, though, such as the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier and Mr. Fantastic's lab in the Baxter Building. There's only about 5 locations, though, and I found that a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it would have been cool to have a level set in Oscorp or Professor X's school, maybe. But what I think most Spawnlings will really want to know is, does it work only having Kinect Controls? I mean, do you think it worked, Barjo?
Yeah, yes and no. There is still that small delay with the Kinect when it's reading your movements, and at first I was annoyed by this.
Breaker ready.
But as I kept going, I found that learning the moves and stringing them together actually worked quite well.
KO. Player 2, 1.
I found this to have more in common with a dancing game than a fighter. Success is achieved by finding a rhythm to each hero, and once you've mastered that, the game becomes much more enjoyable.
I agree with you, Darren. I also liked how each character had a few moves specific to them, like throwing Captain America's shield and Iron Man's repulsor rays.
I wanted to like these special moves, Hex, but I found they were all so similar with just minuscule changes. You're pretty much moving your arms in 2 different positions to perform a strike. I just wanted a bit more variety.
As you do this, you're filling up your Ultra Meter, which you can spend on special attacks that you can activate by simply jumping on the spot. Once you're in this mode, you can shout commands at the Kinect. Commands like Hulk Smash, if you're playing the Hulk, for example.
Each round is 2-on-2 tag team, and changing characters is easy. You simply raise your left arm. But co-op split screen is where I think everyone will have the most fun.
Agreed.
Ninja ready.
Playing co-op with a friend breaks up the slow pace of the game, which is my biggest issue with this one, Barjo. It may not look like it with all of the fighting on screen, but playing this on my own felt quite slow and stilted. I'd get a few moves in, then have to pause, and then get a few more moves in, then pause again.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is much more fun with a friend.
So what are you giving it, Barjo?
Well, you know, normally I don't like these kind of fighting games on Kinect. I find they're all too simple, and this one is a bit simple, but I like superheroes, so I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Well, I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you, and I think they got the character voices pretty spot on, so I'm giving it 6.